Jimmy. Jim, James, son!
So welcome back to another episode of the Jim Show, whatever the hell my channel's called this time. This is a 2003 Chevy Malibu with the big 3.1 V6 donated to my channel. So thank you, Kyle. Thank you for your donation. He slid on some black ice earlier this year when we had our large snowfall and smacked this thing right there and right there into a guardrail. So he had it sitting in his driveway collecting dust for the past, few months, and he decided to give me a text and say, hey, you want this? Of course I will. I'll go ahead and show you guys around it. Fenders are completely crinkled, unfortunately. Rear quarter panel is completely crinkled. That's unfortunate. The interior is, well, it's there. It's not doing so healthy, unfortunately. I am in the middle of doing some work to it. The later clips you'll see were filmed earlier, so you'll see me fiddling with the radio and trying to get some wiring out of here because there was just wires hanging out. But this thing is filthy, absolutely filthy. And it's got a few problems. But for free, as a donation, I can definitely do something with this. Surprisingly, the car even starts just fine. Ready? Not even one light. See that? Not even one light. I am taken aback by that. I have never, ever in my life had a car like this have no lights on. It also supposedly has no gas, which I don't think is right. Had gas yesterday. But we will determine if there's something going on with that or if that's just the car behaving the way it is. So one of the first things I did was see what the hell's up with this wiring here and here. So I pulled every one of the fuses out and found 3 of them that were completely blown, and 2 of them had this little wire wrapped around it, almost like they were trying to recomplete the fuse the cheapest way humanly possible. I hope not. And this one was just missing altogether, so I put that back in there. We're gonna have to see what's going on with that. And I think we're gonna go under the hood now to that fuse box. So of course we go under the hood and immediate shenanigans. Several more blown fuses and wrapped fuses. At least they splurged and used copper on this one. But we replaced several more fuses, and I also found out where that wire goes to. It goes to this one, which appears to be number 5 on the list, which is ignition switch bat 1. So we're gonna have to see why they needed to get an ignition or power source. But that's not for right now. I have other things to check out. So we're on the other side now. Wouldn't you know it, same weird fuse accessory with a blown fuse. So we're gonna have to check all these too. Alright, that takes care of that random wire. So with the fuses fixed and those random wires that were over here completely pulled out, and along with the other wire that ran down here, I've run another wire, a much better wire, and ended up finding out that the wire that they had going here was for ignition power to the radio, the aftermarket radio, because in this car, and yes, these wires are live, so I'm not going to touch them too much, this is the constant power, and this is the switched ignition power. Apparently the 2001 to 2003 Malibu do not have a switched ignition power source from the factory wiring harness, so instead of me using, one of these nice aftermarket harnesses that work real good like I tried, you have to kind of just cut all the wires and do it yourself, because unfortunately this is a 2-year radio that has some kind of computer system and chime built into it, so that's just the way it's going to roll today. So to show you in the most basic way possible what I mean, orange to yellow, this is the constant power, also known as the battery power. Black to black, this is ground to ground, and yellow to red, because yellow is the switched accessory power. So watch this. There you go. Power, shut the key off, goodbye. So let's keep cracking away. So I've been fiddling with the radio for a while, and we do have it working. It does power on with the key and power off with the key. The only problem is we have no audio. Now though, I looked online and this seems to be a fairly common issue with this frickin' thing, especially this year of Malibu. I had to hardwire it into the harness, unfortunately, because the harness they gave me did not match. And the only wire that doesn't do anything seems to be this one. This is a purple wire that's supposedly an amp turn-on. The only thing that you get when you hook it up, however, is a theft light. You get no sound still. So, while I figure out this, because sometimes I have to step back and just work on other things for a little bit, I thought I'd clean this absolute crate out. And, you know, put some of this change to use, maybe vacuuming it out. So let's get to cleaning. So I've got the front kind of cleaned out a little bit. And now I'm working on the back here. There is just always a myriad of shit left in these cars every time I get it. There's a Chihuahua on board sign. Bunch of shit. Soda from a racist company. These fucking masks are probably all over the streets by now. That's producing more landfill than flat screen televisions made by Hisense. Ooh. Expo. Vis-a-vis. Vis-a-vis. Sounds like some French shit. Oh, what the fuck was this thing? Why did it, like, turn to powder in my hand? Yeah, probably some kind of antacid. And I guess now that this is somewhat clean, I can move on to the trunk. Check this out. That's the one part that works good on this car. Anywho. Ooh, free extra hubcaps. Those are always nice. I think jumper cables. Lunchable. Ooh. A burnt CD. Some kind of blankety material. There's the license plate. I was wondering where that other one was. This is probably the registration sticker, yep. Okay. Some brake pads. Those are the old ones, looks like. Spray bottle top. Perhaps an alien ray gun. Get back, aliens. Damn you. Can always use some extra hubcaps. Ooh, a giant crowbar. Yeah, the equalizer. I'll take it. Some de-icer. We don't even live in a place where it even gets slightly cold. Or whatever. There's the other part of that alien ray gun. Some golf balls back there. Yeah, anyway, let's get all this shit in the trash. Damn it, Kyle. Why you gotta do this to me, man? Now that I've got this car just barely more cleaned out, I've decided to go through these codes. Read the codes. No fault codes in the actual engine computer, which is good. But we're gonna go to scan and probably determine something else. What? This is all I get. Yeah, whatever, we'll do Pontiac. Same thing as a freaking Pontiac. There we go. Theft deterrent enable signal lost, which is what we were looking for. Fault is not found. It doesn't matter, I know what we're looking at there. So, we need to erase those codes. Hopefully we can communicate. Alright, succeed. Read. Should say nothing. Oh, we got one. I don't know what that is, but who cares? Anyway, the reason we got to go through all these codes is so we can verify that we have absolutely nothing wrong with the mechanical system of the car. That way it'll pass emissions legally. And also I'd like to point out, the codes that you just witnessed are not actual codes stored in the computer of the car, so anything it needs to pass emissions, it will pass. Those codes are for short circuits or circuits that have been broken, such as when somebody completely tears a car stereo out and just cuts the wiring. When you do something like that to a Class 2 system like this, it's going to send communication back to the computer that the car's main engine harness has been cut. It is smart enough to know that. So that's why we go in and clear these codes after we install the new unit, because some ding-dong has already been in there messing around. Alrighty, well, we're back home, and the cleaning went pretty damn well. I should call it a cleansing because, you know, there's still a lot to do, but it looks a hell of a lot better in here. I took all that change out. That was about, I want to say about $5 in change. That was pretty right on the money. I definitely got to clean that out too, but it's looking a lot better in here. I mean, a lot better. In fact, it's looking a lot better on the outside too. Check this out. Not bad, huh? I like it. So we're gonna go ahead and leave this video here. We have a lot more to do and a lot more to find. Hi, me, hello. We have a lot more to do and a lot more to find, like I was saying. This glove box sort of needs attention. Oh, there it went. But we're gonna go ahead and find a glove box, and we're gonna find a power window bezel, whatever you'd like to call this, and figure out why there's no sound coming to the stereo and a few other things. But thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate it, and I will see you in part 2.